What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we've got another live fantasy football mock draft for you back on FantasyPros with a 12-team full PPR mock where we will be selecting from the 8th overall position. Should be pretty interesting. Our roster, same as always. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and then 5 bench spots. But that's pretty much it, so we can kick this thing off. And while we wait for it to load, a quick reminder, if you guys enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear it in the comment section, your thoughts, along with any other questions you guys might have. We will do our best to answer them all. And lastly, make sure to check out the 2022 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide, available for purchase. Everything you can want at a great value. All the details in the description. But with that being said, let's take a look at the draft board here. The first 7 picks are in. They are as follows. Quick reminder again, this is full PPR. And we have Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey dropping to the 104. That's wild. Najee Harris, and then 2 wide receivers in Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. Notice Jefferson goes ahead of Cooper Kupp. I have a feeling like we might start to see that a little bit more often just because of, some of those question marks surrounding Matthew Stafford and his health. But either way, Cooper Kupp is still going to be a top 3 wide receiver. And it is now our turn to make a selection. We could go with a wide receiver and Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with it. We could go with a running back in a Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, or DeAndre Swift. I think the best pick here would be to go Dalvin Cook. Honestly, it kind of just makes the most sense. I think he was the best value, and I'm not going to pass that up. So next we got Joe Mixon at the 109, Travis Kelce at the 110. I think that's way too early for him. DeAndre Swift, Jamar Chase. So run on wide receivers. Chase, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Mark Andrews. If Adams hadn't gone at the 203, he was available at the 205. I would have gone him there. But now, we've got some of our favorites here. Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley. We could go somebody like a Mike Evans. I'll go with the Saquon Barkley. Alvin Kamara also in contention. But, I recently just kind of talked up Alvin Kamara, even picked him up in the first round. So let's switch things up a little bit. Let's go with Saquon Barkley here, a guy that's had his ADP go through a massive, and I mean massive, just rise. And I wouldn't be shocked again if it continues to creep up even more so here in the next month, even though it might sound impossible. Let's again look at the draft board to see if any crazy selections happen here. After Saquon Barkley, you see Deebo Samuel, then Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams should not be going ahead of, let me count them on my hand, shouldn't go ahead of Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette, or Ezekiel Elliott. Nick Chubb went at the 210. I can make the case he shouldn't go ahead of Fournette or Zeke in a full PPR scoring either. Then Tyreek, Josh Allen, too early for Josh Allen. Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, the first 2 picks in the 3rd round. Then Patrick Mahomes, T. Higgins, James Conner, Ezekiel Elliott, and Keenan Allen. So right now here, I do need a wide receiver. Let's look at the cheat sheet. Ideally, what I'm hoping happens is that Travis Etienne can fall to us in the 4th round. Now we can go first with Michael Pittman. And then if Travis Etienne gets sniped from us, I will go with a wide receiver then. But for now, we're going to go Pittman, and then let's see what happens if Etienne gets selected. And he sure does. He does. And, now we get a chance to, if we really wanted to, go with another running back, even though, this makes me very happy that I went with Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley in the first 2 rounds. Yes, it would have been great to, get Travis Etienne in the 4th and add that, next piece, but I figured there was a much better chance that Etienne would fall to us in the 4th than Michael Pittman falling to us in the 4th. And Etienne's one of those guys that really, he does have his EDP per platforms all over the place. Like on ESPN, you can get him easily after the 3rd round. So I thought to myself, why not take the chance? So right now, basically, I'm going to go with a wide receiver. That's where my head's at. I'm going to go probably with Jalen Waddle. I'll go with the upside. I don't trust the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. I'll go with Waddle opposite Tyreek Hill and then see what happens here, what we have left available to us. So looking at it, again, let's also pull up our roster. We've got Cook, Saquon, Pittman, Waddle, and now after the Waddle selection, you saw Herbert, Terry McLaurin, George Kittle, Allen Robinson. Oh, wow, okay, this is one of the earliest spots I've seen Allen Robinson go, even though I completely agree that that should be the case. DK Metcalf, Cam Akers, Deontay Johnson, huge run on the wide receivers. Cooks, Marquise Brown, Amari Cooper, Judy, Godwin, Mooney, J.K. Dobbins. Okay, so now I'm not going to lie to you guys. Here at this point, Breece Hall, even though I've been off him in the 5th round, is my 3rd running back. Kind of tempting. Tight end, though. Tight end, Darren Waller is still on the board in the 5th round. I think that's the smartest pick here. Let's see how many people have a tight end. Am I actually the only one? Ooh, I could have really taken advantage of the system. There were 1, 2, 3. Wow, this person went with 2 tight ends, Travis Kelce and Kyle Pitts. Don't see that too often, but I'm going to go with Darren Waller. I think it was a smart pick, and honestly, getting a top 5 tight end, I'll take that every single day. Now, what happened as a result of that? Breece Hall went off the board. You saw Juju Smith-Schuster and Rashad Bateman and Michael Thomas. So some of those, mid-level wide receivers that we really, really like are all off the board. And now, if we wanted to go with another running back, I don't love Josh Jacobs. I don't love Elijah Mitchell, Trey Lance. I don't love Miles Sanders. So I'm just going to chill out. I'm going to take probably, honestly, I'll take a quarterback. 6th round, and we still have a tier 1 quarterback in Kyler Murray. Let's switch it up a little bit. So welcome Kyler Murray to the squad and see what happens here. If there's going to be a run on quarterbacks, maybe a little bit. I think this is right around where it happens. Yeah, so you see Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Tom Brady all drafted. Other guys that, we might have been considering a wide receiver. Hunter Renfrow goes to the 701. Tyler Lockett, Devonta Smith also in the 7th round. Josh Jacobs was drafted. I do think Elijah Moore here is a good value at wide receiver. Other guys that I do like, Alan Lazard is somebody that I like. But I think, Elijah Moore, the highest upside at this point in time. So let's go with Moore. And I think we're going to be able to get Alan Lazard probably pretty comfortably in the next round. So that's something that I'm excited about. Running back, Kareem Hunt is somebody that I like. We definitely could argue that we need the depth at running back, but I'm okay waiting on somebody maybe like a Melvin Gordon or a Ramondre Stevenson, even, maybe Naheem Hines. But yeah, right now I'm going to go with Alan Lazard, a guy that I'm just very, very high on. And yeah, I know that means we're going to pass up on a lot of these running backs, but I'm just going to continue to load up on, just the highest upside guys that I really personally like. So yeah, we're going to break it down here, what running backs go off the board. But actually, we just had a huge tight end run happen more than anything. So let's scroll down here to check that out. After our Alan Lazard pick, sure, some wide receivers, Ayuk, Burks, Christian Kirk, Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris, Cordero Patterson. But the 9th round, Goddard, Knox, Kmet, Ertz, Freiermuth. Wow, that's crazy. Huge run on tight ends. So what does that mean here for us? We have got Melvin Gordon still available, and Ramondre Stevenson, and Devin Singletary, guys that I don't mind at this point in time. I really don't. I'll go with Melvin Gordon first, and then Ramondre Stevenson afterwards probably. So Melvin Gordon. Let's see if Ramondre Stevenson makes it back to us. Ooh, he does not make it back to us. So wasn't meant to be. Okay, it is what it is. I'm happy that I at least got one of those 2 guys. I'll go with a late round decent PPR option, and that'll be at running back Naheem Hines. I do think having Matt Ryan there is going to help him a little bit. So we go with Hines. Now looking at some of these other options, Wide receiver, what do we have left? Jacoby Myers, Sky Moore, the kind of the top names. Tight end, I don't love any of the depth here. So let's just look at our cheat sheet. That'll be the easiest thing to do. At wide receiver, I think that's probably where we can find some better value. Because otherwise I'm looking at these running backs and I don't necessarily love the names that have been left. It's just Khalil Herbert, Jamal Williams, Rashad White, Gus Edwards, Darrell Williams. Yeah, so as far as wide receivers are concerned, I'm looking at these names. And Michael Gallup is intriguing, but obviously he's coming off an injury. Honestly, it's kind of slim picking. George Pickens, I think, might be one of the more interesting guys at this point in time. Honestly, I'm used to there being some better value at this point. I think you could argue the best value right now is a guy like a Derek Carr, something like that. We don't really have any handcuffs here that we can go with, at least from our team. So I will go with, I could go with a flyer pick and Sky Moore. I could go with, somebody, like I said, like a George Pickens, another guy, a Michael Gallup, a, Jarvis Landry. I'll go with Sky Moore first, and then I will kind of round this thing out with, just a late round selection that I like in Derek Carr, if he makes it to us. And that'll be that. I just think Derek Carr is a very, very good value. Yes, I realize I have Kyler Murray, but, I'm not going to pass up getting somebody that I think is a steal. So let's look at our grade. We get a B+. So quarterback, we're set. We got Murray. We got a little bit, greedy with Derek Carr. Running back, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley. I love our starters. Depth afterwards, I think this is probably why we got the B+ grade and not an A grade. Melvin Gordon, Naheem Hines, not ideal. Wide receiver, I think we got good values on Pittman, on Waddle, Elijah Moore as well. We got Allen Lazard. So I like that situation. We got Waller, a top 5 guy. I probably wouldn't go as high as a B+ here. I'd go probably a B grade, but hey, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Agree, disagree, along with any other questions you guys might have. I'll do my best to answer them all. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Make sure to check out the 2022 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide. All the details in the description. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.